You're listening to the Bar and Restaurant Podcast, where hospitality lovers come to listen and learn with expert David Delorenzo. Now here's your host, the DELO.
And we are back with another episode of the Bar and Restaurant Podcast. I am your host, the DELO, and today I have a very special guest, Josh Katz. How are you, sir?
Oh, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's exciting to have you. We haven't known each other long, but I feel like we've known each other for a lifetime. Does that make sense?
I do. We're like brothers.
We are like brothers.
Yeah, brothers from another mother.
I absolutely love and appreciate the friendship that we've been able to establish. Actually, it was probably during COVID. It was one of the greatest things of COVID.
Yeah, that's right. That's funny. That's right. Melissa linked us together right at the beginning of COVID, and we met right here.
Yeah.
And she connected us, and we're like, what the hell's going on here? What are we going to do?
And then a week after I met with you, I caught COVID.
Yeah. I remember that.
It's crazy.
You didn't tell anybody.
No, I didn't.
Just said, you were sick and,
stayed home and
it's good, though.
Answered phone calls.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, thanks. Me too, twice. But anyways, all right, Josh, where were you born? Where did you hatch?
I'm a native.
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona, right here in the valley.
And growing up in Arizona, did you anticipate that you would be owning multiple businesses out here?
Absolutely not. No, I went to school up north, NAU, and that's where my career in the restaurant business started, and later found my passion to be in full-service standalone restaurants. And so I've lived around a few different places. From there I went to Denver and then back, and then I went to Chicago for a while and lived there for a few years, and then I came back and I went to Southern California where I spent about 5 years and came back and been back ever since.
Was your first job bussing tables?
My first job was at a place called The Barn, which was it's not there anymore. It was on 59th and Bell. It's an old steakhouse with sawdust on the floor and country music. And I think I was like 15, and I was introduced to the wonderful world of restaurants, and that's why I kind of got my shoe in.
Yeah, you never went back. You went to the hospitality school up in NAU.
I did.
What was that like? That school still existing, isn't it?
It's a very good school. Yeah, it's for me, I'm a kind of learning by a doer. Learn by doing.
Yeah.
So I can't honestly say there was a lot of takeaway for me at NAU, but I certainly enjoyed my time up there.
Yeah. I can certainly understand.
Certainly enjoyed the cool pines of Flagstaff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to NAU probably. I'm not sure what year it was. I think it was like 93.
It was like 100 years ago.
Yeah. It's like 100 years
ago. I was there in 92.
Yeah, so
we there same time.
I'm kind of in the same vein as you. I enjoyed the pines and the cool weather. Oh boy, among other things. And then you graduated from ASU, and what did you end up doing then?
NAU.
Yeah.
From there, after NAU, I went to Colorado, Denver. Well, actually, Colorado Springs. I ran a restaurant out there.
Okay.
It's called Zio's Italian Kitchen, and did that for about a year. Opened up a couple of restaurants with them in Denver, and it was too far away from home. It was a little lonely, so I came back and did some stuff here in the valley. Worked for Z Tejas and Raw Sushi, and just did my time on Mill Avenue, which was fun. And that's pretty much what I did for the last 20, 25 years. Is everything under the sun. Really, I've run resorts, nightclubs, but mostly casual dining restaurants.
So you got, and then that got you into consulting?
Yeah. So when I got married, I, didn't want to spend my life running restaurants. And, I got to the point where I felt like I was watching my life go by from the inside of a restaurant, and when I got married, I really wanted to see my wife, obviously.
Yeah, right.
So, loved the business still, hated the hours. So I thought, I'll do consulting. And so I did that for a little bit.
Yeah.
SIP was my first client.
You met your wife. You did bodybuilding shows, didn't you?
I did men's physique. Not at all my thing, but I did it. It was great because I got in shape, and it was an experience, and probably something I'll never do again. But
for those of you that don't know, men's physique is not the it's not like the bun hugging tighties. It's you're actually wearing a bathing suit.
And board shorts. So it was a little different than bodybuilding. I actually did a show I think with your dad.
Yeah. I think so. I think you're right.
Natural show. Yeah.
We are guilty both of doing that as well. It's funny how your and I's world just kind of are really about the same. And then you got into Herbalife, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Network marketing, again, it's just some lessons I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me. Great company. I mean, Herbalife's the #1 nutrition company in the world. And their products are great. As a matter of fact, I still take some of their products, some of their meal replacement shakes and some of the teas and stuff. But as far as the business, not my thing.
Yeah. Is that
but it's how I met my wife. So
that's how you met your wife, right? Yeah. Didn't you have a smoothie shop or something? Or?
I did on the west side. We had a smoothie shop, and we did one-on-one personal training and group fitness, and we sort of did a lot of things out of that spot.
So now you have a wife, beautiful wife,
yep.
I may add, very sweet, and you have a new baby.
Yeah, Brody.
Brody. How old is Brody?
Brody is 7 months, going on 15 years. Yeah. I mean, he's crawling like a bat out of hell, and he started actually daycare today, preschool, Temple High, down the street, and starting to get him acclimated with other kids and socialized, and it was kind of weird letting him go away already, but he's great.
He's fast, right?
He's my world. He's my pride and joy.
And your wife, she was working at a housing...
Taylor Morrison.
Yeah, Taylor Morrison. And now that you've got some other stuff going on, she's working for your operation.
Yeah, so we talked, prior to Brody being born, actually. And, we wanted to create a life where we spent our days together and she could be home with him and we wouldn't have to send him off to daycare 7 days a week or 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. And so we, when we opened 36 Below, we thought, this is a good time. We've got another location and, we can sustain the, the salaries and everything. So, I retired her from her corporate America full-time job and now we're working together.
What's Brody's favorite cartoon?
So it's a couple ones, Peppa the Pig, and he loves Blue's Clues. It's crazy. My wife watched Blue's Clues. I've never even heard of Blue's Clues.
Oh, I watched it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never. Mine was like, Mickey Mouse and Popeye and Bugs Bunny,
Roadrunner and all that.
Yeah, Roadrunner, exactly.
Do you sing the shark song to Brody?
No.
What's the shark song? Oh my God. Baby Shark, thank you. Yeah, my nephew's. Oh my God! Every time I go over there, it's a Baby Shark Day. Yeah. So okay, so we kind of move into that now. You you own some coffee stores. You own this this new really cool swanky bar. And we'll get into all that. But prior to that, it hasn't been easy. And you and I have a very relatable let's just say past and what's gone on. And I know alcohol played a big part into your life. And how did that, to revert back to look at that, how did that situation that at the time seemed to be like the ultimate low actually turn into something to create the ultimate high for you, to create a family and be a successful businessman and to find God in your life and all that stuff that's important to you?
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. It was a terrible time in my life. I was an alcoholic and drug addict for a long time. It wasn't until my mid-30s where I decided that, I was going to die. It wasn't just I woke up and didn't like who I was anymore. I was literally going to die. And it was either, die or make a change and live. And, I was living in Southern California at the time, and I worked for a reputable seafood company, King's Fish House. They had a collection of casual dining restaurants and a collection of upscale restaurants as well. And I had a very strict code of conduct, and I went to work, and I was drunk, and they fired me on the spot. And from there, I went on a 10-day drinking binge that nearly ended my life. And so, it was do or die, really. It was do or die. And so I made a decision to get some help and turn my life around.
And I've gone through kind of the same situation and was able to find my wife and put a stop to the madness that was, drinking for me.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because when you make that choice, you just kind of make it and you see that there's other choices to be made on the other end, and to be happy with that. And I'm sure that you're completely ecstatic, to be at where you're at now and you don't even look back like,
100%. I never thought that I could get sober, and I tried millions of times to do it on my own. I just never thought it was a possibility. As a matter of fact, at one point, I just kind of accepted it, that this is who I was going to be and this is the way I was going to live my life. And again, it just got so bad that I was going to die. So I had to make a change, and it's made me who I am today. Overcoming adversity. Everybody's got a sad story to tell and a difficult, situation or situations that they've had to go through. My story is no different than anybody else, but the only thing different about it is that it's my story. But it's definitely something that has fueled my success in business. I think that once you learn how to grow and start to do work on yourself, you see the value of doing work on yourself. And today I have to work on myself harder than I work on my job. It's a daily routine that I have to do. I have to, to be spiritually fit and talk to God and work on myself and read and continue to push myself, because, this thing that I have that is this disease, I guess, if you will, it never goes away. I might stop drinking, but drinking was just a sign that something else was wrong. So
how do you compartmentalize the fact that you now own a swanky bar and serve alcohol, and you're, basically an alcoholic in essence?
Great question.
What goes through your
Great
head?
question.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, right? It's the only way. It's the only way I could do it. There's no way that I could have done. The guy that was drinking vodka at a bottle at 6 a.m. could own a bar now, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm very careful about the choices I make and where I put myself. I understand my place. My place is not behind the bar. It's not making the drinks. It's not even designing the drinks or anything. I don't really have anything to do with that. Sheldon, that's his thing. And Mo's got his place, and we've all got our unique set of skills that we focus on. And mine's the business side of it. Yeah. And the marketing, and my wife helps with that. And so it just works. I certainly don't recommend anybody that's trying to get sober to go work in a bar or restaurant, but for whatever reason, because of the work I continue to do on myself, and I just know that, I'm not okay, to work in a bar. I have to do the work, and I have to know and be aware that I'm only one drink away from destruction. Yeah. And so with that, and the thoughts that I have, and just being aware, keeping those darkest times in my addiction are my best assets in sobriety. For sure.
Yeah, that's very well stated. And if you look at it, you also look at it as, it's not a judgment on what anybody else or other people do. There's a lot more people in the world that can control, what it is having a good time with a drink than can't. And to provide an establishment that's entertaining and creates vibe and creates obviously good drinks, is again, it's running a business, and it's doing it the way that, you want to do it, and being creative, and you're a hospitality guy at the end of the day. And so when you talk about your team, how important are those guys to you?
Super important. I mean, this was definitely a team effort. If you're talking about 36 Below and the elegance and the dynamic of it, it was a small space, huge undertaking, but it's very important that we had the set of skills that we had and the team of people we had that worked on it. I mean, we had the best of the best that worked on this project. Yeah. Sheldon, he's a world-renowned mixologist. He's dubbed the fastest bartender in the world. It's crazy. Mo, he's got he's very versatile. He does a lot of different things.
Sweetest guy I've ever met.
And I love him. He's my right hand. And so we all just know what we're supposed to do, and we meet, and there's communication, and it just works.
Yeah. That's great. How did you end up acquiring, SIP from not having it to begin with?
Yeah. So I was, I met Travis through another friend. Travis was the founder of SIP, him and Tita, and they were getting ready to open SIP Kitchen on Scottsdale and Shea. Yeah. And my friend said, hey, come look at this. We're about to open this thing. And I met Travis, and, they kind of introduced me as a consultant. And he said, how can you help us? And I said, well, let me take a look. And so I spent some time in all the locations and kind of did a SWOT analysis and gave him my feedback. And he goes, man, how do we get you to be a bigger part of this? And I said, well, it's
pay me.
Maybe a small equity piece, pay me. And so we did that. Yeah. And once I got involved, I really noticed that there wasn't a lot of people involved that cared And the people that did care just didn't really have the skill set to take it further than it, they just had taken it as far as it could go.
Yeah.
And, even Mo at the time, he was super green, but he was the hardest worker and really the only person that cared about the concept. All these other people, it was about a lot of other things, but not running a business and building something special.
Right.
So, it's been a lot of work. I had to get in there and imagine you buy a house sight unseen, and then you think it's a good deal, and you get in there and you start to tear walls apart, and you find moss, and you got to take it all the way down to the foundation, right?
Yeah,
That's what we did with SIP. We took it all the way down to the foundation. We changed everything, put a lot of processes and procedures into place, and now we feel like we have a good brand.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a brand that my assumption is based on our conversations, you're looking to grow.
Totally. I think our next location is definitely going to look and feel a lot different than what the 2 locations you experience now.
Yeah.
We'll definitely shrink our footprint, and our offerings. We'll shrink our food offerings and our menus, our beer selections, but it'll be a small version.
Yeah.
But it'll just be, in terms of efficiency, it'll just be set up a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an Herbalife.
Maybe. Maybe not.
And in 36 Below is your new baby. And
Yeah.
so kind of for people listening that don't know anything about it, give a description of what it is that people are, first of all, you're walking down into a pit of an oil change, an old, Jiffy Lube or something like that?
It was an old Avis lubrication shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit bigger than your average Jiffy Lube. So it had 3 garage doors, and then it had a garage bay where they washed the cars, where now it's our drive-through for SIP. And then, yeah, like you said, one side of the oil bay is our kitchen, and the other side is 36 Below.
Yeah. And the whole theme and everything, how did that come about?
Well, it's from where we ended up, from where we started to where we ended up is worlds apart. When Rich called me from Undertow in last year in June and said, hey, we might be relocating Undertow, I was super jazzed because, when I first acquired SIP and I learned that Undertow, there was a little cool bar down there, I watched them just murder it down there for years. And I said, if I can ever get my hands on that thing, I'm going to take that on myself. So Sheldon was the first person I called, obviously, because he's a beverage guy. So I said, hey, you want to take this on with me? He goes, absolutely. So we started kind of designing it ourselves. We were just kind of Googling shit on, the internet and finding we were going to do this cool cave cavernous type thing where there was stalactites and stalagmites. And then we met with our branding specialist, and she goes, if you guys are trying to appeal to women, which we were, what's sexy about a cave?
Not
we're
much.
No, you're right. So I was entered Dala from the House of Forum, who you know very well.
Dala was with her yesterday.
And so we met her through our contractor, and we told her kind of what we were doing, and she came in and experienced the space with her team.
Yeah.
And, we told her the name of the bar, and she, kind of what we were thinking of doing, and then she pitched us on 3 ideas, and the third one was a greenhouse, and we just fell in love.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so, and then the scenes that you see. So what we've done is we've taken elevations from Google Earth, and we've recreated some of my favorite scenes from Flagstaff, because it's my favorite place in the world.
Okay.
And we've added in some elements of our own, and we worked with the local artist, Rachel Smack, who's amazing. It was her vision to kind of add the screens, and then she worked with the programmer out of New York, Adam Smith, who works with Invisible Maker. And, from where we started, we were going to do these plexiglass sort of windows, fake windows with plants in them, and then it just evolved. Well, we can do this, and we can actually do this. And once we got this team assimilated, we realized that we had some of the best people involved in the industry and what they do. We had the best tech guys, we had the best technology, we had the best writer, we had the best designer. And so we can do a lot. So it just kind of evolved into what it is today, and it's beautiful. We feel
That's
pretty
awesome.
proud of it. Yeah.
And what's the significance of 36 Below for people listening?
So 36 Below is in the book of Genesis, in the 36th verse, or numerically, if you were to count the verses, it talks about the creation of man and how no trees or shrubs could spurt because there are 2 key elements missing, water and someone to nurture the garden. Beautiful. So you walk down there and we're nurturing the garden.
The garden.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's limited hours and operation and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, 3 to midnight right now, 7 days a week. We're going to expand our hours here pretty soon on the weekends till 1. We're going to open up for brunch here Saturdays and Sundays. We're adding another group meeting room. Well, not a meeting room. It's more of a social gathering room called the Rose Garden. It's another 100 square feet. We'll fit about 12 to 15 more people in there. So
nobody knows that yet.
We're still planting seeds that haven't spurted yet.
Well, let's talk about your personal. What's really important to me and for people to know is about you as a person and your personality, and obviously they'll get a little bit about that from the beginning. But as far as your day, what does your day look like? Like, what do you do in the aspects of business and health, and what are your non-negotiables for the day, and what are those things that you have to do? Obviously, family's a huge part for you. So is it like waking up and having breakfast with Brody and or going for a walk, or what does your day look like?
Well, I have non-negotiables like you just mentioned. I absolutely do. And when Brody was born, I really got derailed from a lot of the stuff that meant a lot to me, like meditation and prayer, and even workouts, which and eating right and all that stuff. Time with my wife. So those are all non-negotiables. But daily I try to wake up, eat, pray, meditate. Time with Brody, time with the puppies. And then I'm off to work. My wife gets up really early. She hits the gym, and I'm home that's my time with Brody in the morning. Him and I feed him and get him ready, and then I'm off, and I usually hit the gym around 9. So and then as far as my business day, it's different. It's just basically this business. There's so many moving parts.
Chaotic mess.
It's chaos, and it just depends on meetings and what's going on and what location and everything. But I just hit the locations. I try to spend at least a few days in each location every week and rub shoulders. And, it's important to me that I'm in the trenches with my people and that they know that the owner's, there with them. I'm present and spending time in the building. So
do a lot of your patrons know you, or are you so kind of under the radar?
Yes, I try not to get too. I mean, it's not my personality, I guess it's because I touched tables for years.
Right.
And that was my job as a floor manager. I had to touch tables and make sure everybody was having a great time. I got so tired of doing that it's not at all what I want to do. Granted, I don't mind engaging with people and having conversations, but it's just not something that I do a lot of. I don't get behind the counter a lot and make coffee, although I do from time to time. But I'm more in the backdrop and the scene, behind the scenes doing stuff.
It seems like I miss you by 5 minutes every time I go in. I send you a picture. No, that's great. And as far as going out to eat and all that, do you guys go out locally and have any favorites or?
Yeah, we went out for the first time in 6 or 8 months. My wife and I, since Brody was born, probably went up to the Quarter and went to Zenberger. I don't really have, I'm not a huge foodie.
Yeah.
But I don't actually enjoy going out anymore. I love coffee, but no, I feel like I love my home. I love my family and my dogs, and
when you're done. You just want to go home and chill.
I spend 6, 8 hours, 10 hours out, and I just love being home. But I love supporting local. Whenever we go out, we definitely try to support local. That's what Works for SIP is all about. That's our hashtag, support local. We're very community driven, so I try to walk that walk if I'm going to talk the talk.
I would say you're just getting started. So I honestly, the future with you is so bright. You've surrounded yourself with such a great team, and you've got that mindset and that drive. And
thank you.
I think having a child, quite honestly, even puts you on your toes even more.
Yeah. Or my why becomes different.
Yes.
Now it's about him.
Right. Yeah. How do I pay for college?
For many years until he was born, it was about me.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about me. Now it's about somebody else.
Isn't that crazy? No, that's awesome. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you can just give me short or long answers. What do you prefer, the beach or the woods?
Woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of beach pictures of you lately, so I didn't know.
I haven't gotten up to Flagstaff enough.
In a while, yeah. Tacos?
Something about the smell of pine trees that I just love.
You just love that, yeah. You'll probably get a second house up there, right?
Someday.
Tacos or ice cream?
Tacos.
Okay.
Ice cream.
That's a good answer.
That's a tough one.
Oh, you know what I keep forgetting to do in here? So at least we can have a little bit of it. Oh, are my lights on? Oh, my lights are on. Did you turn those on? Oh, never mind. All right, I'm losing my mind. Okay, air travel or road trip?
Air travel.
Yeah?
Yeah. I get bored in the car.
Do you really? Oh, there's a lot of podcasts.
Short attention span. So.
Aliens or sea monsters?
Aliens. Come on, bro.
There you go. Oh, I got a special gift for you too after this weekend. Baseball or a music concert?
Probably music concert these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Would you rather do an Ironman or a CrossFit competition?
Definitely not CrossFit.
Okay.
Cross shit? Ironman, for sure.
Ironman? Do you know how to swim?
I swam once.
Yeah, same here. It's horrible. Would you rather take knitting or pottery?
Pottery.
And Run DMC or LL Cool J?
Oh, man, come on.
Yeah,
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Man, probably LL, but that's still like you can go either way on that, right?
Yeah, they're both great. I'm definitely with you.
I thought you were going to say
though.
Rat or Def Leppard.
Well, while we're bringing it up, Rat or Def Leppard.
Exactly. It's the same, right?
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's so cool. Well, dude, it's so awesome to have you here. I'm, excited to watch your growth. I'm excited to be part of your family. I'm grateful for, our friendship in just a short span of time. And, there's a lot more fun to be had. So where can everybody find you? I know you have a great social media manager. And
yes, we do.
Where can everybody find you, your handles? What's the preferred method of like finding out about SIP?
Yeah, Instagram 36? For 36 is just 36 below, at 36 below. You go to our website, www.36belowaz.com. You can check out all of our things going on. You can even make a reservation there, sipcoffeeandbeer.com. You can order online. Visit us on our web Instagram, sipcoffeeandbeer_.
Cool.
So we try to make ourselves known.
Yeah. One location off Indian School and
36th Street and Indian School for SIP, and then Old Town, Goldwater, and Scottsdale Road.
Yeah, and 36 is at the
we got
the Indian
something new coming up here in the next 6 months too.
Oh boy. Yeah. Got stuff rolling. So yeah, please go support local. It's got great coffee. The 36 below, it's like nothing you've ever seen, but obviously you got to get reservations ahead of time. It's very well sought out for. And that's it, man. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Good to be here.
Good to have you. If you are listening, please take time to leave me a 5-star because it helps with my analytics, and you love me. I know you do. I can feel it through the camera and through the mic. I got Casey over there laughing. And thank you again for Casey for his amazing production value and how wonderful and nice it is to look at his smile on his face. So anyways, that's it. This is DELO, Bar Restaurant Insurance, Bar Restaurant Podcast. Thank you, everybody, and peace out.